I wasn't always sure that I wanted to be an interior designer. Growing up, I was really creative and loved all my art classes and packed in as many as I could take, but also I was really good at math and problem solving. So when I was looking into careers, I wanted something that could mesh both sides of my personality. And so interior design was just a natural path for me to take. I love that you really have to think deeply about these problems and think pragmatically and analytically, but also you get to use the creative side of your brain and make something beautiful.
I was inspired to do interior design as my major because it basically consumed my childhood. I grew up flipping houses with my mom and dad, and we're currently flipping one right now. Also, my dad owns a general contracting and floor covering company that I helped out with growing up, and now I work there as an interior designer.
I was inspired to major in interior design when I took an Intro to Interior Design course my senior year of high school. The class brought me so much joy, and it was the last class of the day, so it gave me something to look forward to. I remember the first thing I would do when I got home from school was start my interior design homework because that's how excited I was. Prior to the class, I had no idea what I wanted to go to college for, but I can now say I made the right decision.
My main source of inspiration has been and always will be Pinterest. I think that this is just such a great website for absolutely anything, not even just in the interior design program, but just in general. It has, really good recipes. It has really good, sewing inspiration. It just has such a variety in inspiration that can be given. So I would absolutely recommend that website to everybody. And then secondly, a lot of my inspiration actually comes to me when I'm about to go to sleep. I just get a random thought in my head and I'll just write it down and I'll remember it for the next day when I'm working on my project or my assignment or whatever it is.
I can be pretty much inspired by anything, whether it's going outside for a walk, if it's looking at art, if it's watching TV, going through Twitter. With pop culture, I get inspired by a lot of different things. I don't think it's difficult to be inspired if you have an open mind about a lot of things. One thing that I kind of focus on, or something that really attracts my attention quickly, is color schemes. I like the way that colors interact with each other, and I don't think that there's any set rules for colors. You can make any colors go well together if you find the right hues or tints. I think that's something that's really interesting to me. One place I find inspiration is I like looking at the sky. I'll constantly take pictures of the sunset or the sunrise, and I like the way that pink and blue and yellow kind of go together, and that in that one moment that's in the sky, it just looks really pretty. But then I would never put that in a bedroom. I mean, I might, who knows? But I just like the way that colors work together. Another thing that I like to look at is fashion as well. I love watching Project Runway reruns, and they're constantly breaking rules and finding out new inventions, and sometimes the best designs are the ones that are pretty unconventional, and the ones that get the highest praise are the ones that really push boundaries and go against what people think. So I think that inspiration really comes from anywhere, and you can find beauty and art and design in things in the natural world as well as the built environment. And so being observant really helps me stay inspired.
I seek out inspiration in multiple different ways. The most prominent one is probably through outdoors and nature and the different colors and textures found there, including wood textures and stone and the different colors of nature, greens, or as this tree I'm sitting under. Other ways is even just going online and browsing different articles or websites such as Pinterest, and really just seeing what's out there and pulling it all in to make your own unique design is how I go about it.
So I get inspiration in a lot of different ways. One way is by following commercial firms on Instagram and Facebook, where they post their recent projects and what they're doing. And then for residential inspiration, I tend to lean more towards Pinterest. and different magazines. And then in general, I get a lot of inspiration from nature, looking at the colors and patterns and shapes and how everything flows.
A few places where I get my inspiration is social media, so Facebook, Instagram. On Instagram, I follow a lot of other interior designers and architecture firms, and they post a lot of their work there. And then I go on Pinterest all the time, and I just look at things around me. So when I'm outside, a lot of things give me inspiration there. And then as a IIDA member and ASID member, they send you magazines in the mail every once in a while, and flipping through there, gaining information from that is really helpful.
So for many of my design projects, I kind of start out with trying to find inspiration. And usually the places where I look is, first I might look online at things like Pinterest and places where I can like find a lot of ideas at once, kind of have a broad spectrum of what I kind of am looking for. But sometimes that doesn't always work because looking for inspiration in technology sometimes just is tricky. So sometimes I just like to not think about my project, and then the inspiration will just come to me. I just kind of get it through just living, whether it's like taking a walk in my community or something, or just looking to nature. I think many things can be found inspiring just in the little things of daily life. So that's kind of how I found inspiration for my project throughout my design studies here at UNI. I just look at the things around me and the things that I like and see. And even the spaces on campus sometimes can be inspiring, or how the people are using the spaces that might be different than how we're used to. That's really how I kind of gather inspiration for projects and things.
Seek out inspiration in many ways for my projects. I love the aspect of getting to be creative and work with the space I am designing. Once I know what the project is going to be, I will research about it and look on Pinterest and Instagram for a lot of inspiration and ideas. I really love natural and earthy elements and textures, so that helps me narrow down my search, but of course that doesn't limit what I can do for a project. Once I get a feel for how I want to design a space, I get into a really good rhythm. Although I can promise something will always come up and I feel like it might alter my design, but it almost always challenges me to come up with a better solution in the end. I know everybody has something different to inspire them, whether it be Pinterest or going outside, but anything and anywhere can really inspire you and lead you to being creative, and you'll never know where your inspiration will take you.